important lesson to go over is why do I look at Bitcoin? Why is Bitcoin so important to me? Bitcoin is very risky. People don't want to buy and hold the Bitcoin. You're better off buying the SPY or QQQ, something that's not very volatile and that goes up over the long term. Bitcoin goes up over the long term, but when it tanks pretty damn hard, right? I mean, it's almost 50% off from highs. So you always want to keep an eye on Bitcoin and how it's doing. If people don't want to hold Bitcoin, they're not going to want to hold. Yeah, look at that. Nearly 50% from highs. That's crazy. You look at SPY, like I said, you can just buy SPY and make your 10% a year. And you can even see very clearly. You buy SPY and you're only down 1%. Do you see that? That's crazy. So if you're an investor and you buy SPY, the market doesn't even. You're just like, huh? We're like you're not even deep in the red. If you're just an investor aiming for your 8 to 10% return, just buying something very safe. It's very safe, but you're not going to make much return, obviously. But the people who are buying and holding the SPY are only down 1%. That's crazy, right? Bitcoin is a very good indicator of whether people want to buy and hold risky assets. People are not going to want to hold risky stocks. They're not going to want to hold penny stocks. They're not going to want to hold crypto. They're not going to want to hold really anything. That's why we are tanking, because nobody wants to buy and hold. So always keep an eye on Bitcoin. Use Bitcoin I'm giving you an advantage here. You might not realize it, but this is an advantage because most people don't pay attention. Right? People just throw money at the markets. They don't pay attention to Bitcoin. At best, they go, oh, it's tanking, whatever. But it's a good indicator of whether we're going to go lower or not. Because if Bitcoin tanks, it's going to bring everything else down with it. And that's really the point of this quick lesson here. I wanted to open up with that. I'll read the chat here in a little bit. I can see your message, Janit. But yeah, I just wanted to go over this because people always ask me, why do you always look at Bitcoin? It's a good leading indicator of whether we're going to go lower or not. And I can even show you an example. ASTS. Right? ASTS started tanking January 30. Bitcoin started tanking back in October 5th, November, December. So it took 2 months. No, not even. It took 3 months for ASTS to finally start tanking, to finally start following Bitcoin. So it was inevitable that ASTS was going to tank. It was just a question of when. It was going to tank. It was going to come down, and it did. It just took a little longer, but it's coming on down. So that's kind of like why you use this as a leading indicator. If Bitcoin is tanking, it's going to bring everything else down with it at some point, some faster than others. So yeah, I just showed you a perfect example. ASTS didn't start tanking until recently on January 30. So, and here it tanked on October 15th, even though Bitcoin itself only started tanking in October 5th. So 10 days later, it started tanking. Isn't that crazy? So you can use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, and it's a very beneficial one. And let me read the chat real quick. Good morning, Shades. Good morning. Let me move my screen over here. There we go. Yeah, good morning, Blue Mike Lux. And Yanit, hi. Should we buy or hold? We're buying and holding because that's all you can do. So I don't know why you're asking should we buy or hold. You buy and hold. There's not much you can do really because everything's just tanking over and over again. Currency baddie. Yeah, that's true. Bitcoin is a good indicator. I've never seen someone in my chat named Currency Baddie, but shout out to you. Yeah, to me it's a good indicator. If that's going to tank, it's going to bring everything else down with it. So it's a bear market. We're crashing. The only thing you can do is buy the dip and buy it with strategy. You know, don't go all in. Don't lump sum. Spread out your dollar cost average. That's really all you can do. So yeah, Bitcoin. This is every video I make. I always mention Bitcoin because of that. It's very important to keep an eye on it. We need to see Bitcoin turn bullish in order for me to be like, hey guys, I think now we're gonna turn around. We will turn around at some point. I get it. It's very painful. I've been getting messages, people asking me, hey, when is this gonna turn around? Are we bottoming out? I'm holding $10K worth of Sybil or $25K worth of Sybil, or I'm holding, SoundHound 50% down, 30% down. Like, when are we gonna recover? And I'm like, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? I mean, that's that. If only I knew the exact bottom and top. But that's not possible. And I mentioned this in yesterday's video for SoFi. Nvidia is a big company. They bought APLD at $5. Did they time the bottom? No, the bottom was $3.31. And even back then, the bottom was $2.36. And even back then, the bottom was 85 cents. Nvidia bought at $5. They did not time the bottom at all. Not even close. And the top was $42. Nvidia sold at $35. They did not time the top. So I'll never understand people who want to time the exact bottom and top when a big company like Nvidia can't even do it themselves. And that's a pretty big, powerful company with way more resources than an individual. So, stop trying to time the top, stop trying to time the bottom. Dollar cost average on good companies with growing revenues. And I think you will be okay long term. The recovery is where you make the big bucks. And we need Bitcoin to turn around and start going up and start creating higher lows, higher highs. That's not happening. You can see very clearly. Let me show you the monthly time frame on Bitcoin. This is interesting. Ready? Look at that monthly time frame on Bitcoin. It just keeps tanking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red months already in a row. We have not had a green month. We don't know how long this is going to continue. And it looks like it wants to tank here at open. But let me show you a little graphic here, right? History of stock market crashes. Look at the crash here of 1929, negative 86%, negative 60%, negative 30, 20, 28, 36, 48, 35, 57, 49%, right? It's painful in the moment. When you're in the middle of a crash, it's painful because everything is, looks terrible. But the recovery, the people who don't sell at a loss, the people who don't get scared, the people who can handle the pain, the people who survive, the people who don't quit, the people who don't get weeded out by the bear market, by the crashes, they're the ones that make a lot of money on the recovery. Because on the recovery, 129%, 158%, 267%, 39%, 76%, 48%, 74%, 62%, 417%, 101%, 320. So you want to make hundreds of percentages, but you don't want to go through all this crashing. Like, that doesn't make sense. You need a crash. You need a crash so that everything gets cheap, and then you buy, and then you make big percent. And this is assuming you buy some safer stocks. If you buy riskier stocks, you can make 500 to 1,000%. You can make way more than this if you're buying riskier plays. And I can show you an example. Bitcoin itself is a great example, right? Look at Bitcoin. It topped out at 126,000. The bottom was at 13,600, right? You can see it bottomed out here at 13,600, hit a high of 126,000. We can measure how much you would have made if you bought something very risky. 600%. So you can make way more buying something riskier. But that's the funny thing is, buying risky stock also means you have to deal with the pain of holding down like 60%, 80%, 90% down during the crash. And another thing I want to point out is the fact that I can show you a little graphic like this, the fact that I can show you this, the fact that there's this thing called history, the fact that we can even use the term history of stock market crashes. This is historical. This is something that's always going to happen. This is part of the game. So this is going to be fun for me. I told Trucker Jeff yesterday, because we were going back and forth, I was telling him, like, I hope we crash some more. I hope SoundHound goes to $3. I hope Riot goes to 10 and under. I hope Rich Robotic goes to $1. I hope IonQ goes to $10. SoFi to 10 and under. I want to see more downside. I want this crash to be worse because I want the stock market to weed out the stupid people in this world, and I want it to weed out the weak. Because we make money on those people selling off and folding to the bear market, and we buy what they're selling nice and cheap, and then we hold it for the recovery, and we make a lot of money. That's really all you can do in a bear market, in a crash. So I want things to tank. Please, by all means, make people squirm. Make them. I hope the bear market squeezes people out of their long positions, so we tank so bad that it finally let's get the weak out of here. We don't need them. Get them out of here. They're worth nothing if they can't handle this part of the process. This is part of the process. If you got into this, and if you got into the stock market, you should have accepted that you're going to go through this. This is part of the game. You're going to go through bear markets. And it's going to suck. And it's going to be months and months and months and months of red. And look at the quarterly time frame. 2 quarters of red. Ouch. And the weekly time frame, I mean, we had one green week, but barely. And it's just terrible. It's just terrible. And I love it. I don't understand why people get all upset. Why they start crying. Why they start too much emotion. Like no, your stock isn't so special that it's gonna never be in the red, deep in the red, especially in a bear market. That's stupid. Bear markets are not fun because everything crashes a lot. A lot of stocks are down 50%, 30%, 80%, 90%. Like, this is normal. This is part of the game. And I'll leave it at that. Keep an eye on Bitcoin until that reverses. Really don't expect much other than the just keep dollar cost averaging. That's all you can do. Like I said, the people who survive this, who go through this whole process, they're gonna come out a better trader because the next time it happens, they'll be like, "Oh, we're crashing. Cool. I'm ready for this. I've been there already." So you kind of have to go through the experience. So yeah. So that's all I got to say, because me and Trucker Jeff were having a good conversation yesterday about all the people that are crying. There's a lot of people. There's definitely some Discord members that are not happy. Like, they are looking at their portfolio in the red constantly. Every day we're tanking, and they're not happy. And I'm just like, what do you want me to do? Press a button to make everything go up? It's not gonna. That's just not how it works. If anything, we're gonna tank some more, because the whole point of a bear market is to crush the people. It's to crush the weak. It's to crush the people who aren't about this life. That's what it is. They're not about it. They're about wanting to get in the markets and everything just goes up. They're not about the whole process. So there you go. That's all I gotta say. I mean, the data speaks for itself. If you look at the data, this is where the real money is made. But you don't want to go through the pain of this. What are you doing here then? What are you in the markets for? That doesn't make. I don't know. I'll leave it at that. I can go on and on.